Hey guys, Tom here from synthhacker.com, and in this video we're going to be looking at making from scratch this indie dance style ring mod lead. So 10 points to you if you recognize that melody, and if you do, feel free to leave a comment down below. But it is just a really nice sound. It's like really soft and really kind of melancholic. It's hard to explain what it is specifically about it. That's really nice. But it is employing the use of ring modulation, which I'm going to get onto in just a second. And we are going to be making this sound completely from scratch, so I'll just initialize the patch. Just quickly before I begin making it, I'll just mention that that sound is one of the presets from my massive preset pack, actually, which contains over 500 presets spanning across multiple genres such as indie dance and house and trance and stuff like that. If that's something that you'd like to get your hands on, you can go ahead and go to synthhacker.com and click on the massive preset pack, or you can click the link in the description below, and there's tons of like audio demos on there and stuff for you guys to check out. So thanks in advance if you decide to purchase that. I really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's begin making this ring mod lead. So the first thing that I'll just quickly mention is that you want to make sure that the sound is monophonic. We're just using one voice of unison. I did try making a similar sound with a bit of unison with a few like having detuned voices and stuff, but it didn't really sound as consistent, as nice as just having a monophonic sound. Excuse me. So the first thing we're going to do is dive into Oscillator 1. The wavetable that we're going to use is going to be this Herbie wavetable, which on its own just sounds quite soft. There's not really much going on. I'll just quickly demonstrate. But what I found was if you use this bend minus warp mode, which essentially the bend plus and bend minus warp modes basically stretch or squash the waveform. If you use this bend minus warp mode and turn the intensity to about where it is on the screen there, you get this kind of really nice sound with a lot of kind of upper harmonics. Really nice. Really like this wavetable a lot with this warp mode. What we're going to do is detune it just slightly as well. The reason for that is because if you have two oscillators that are slightly detuned, especially when you're using the other oscillator as a modulation source, interesting stuff starts to happen, which I'll demonstrate in just a second. So we're only going to be using one of the three main oscillators for this to generate the sound, but we are going to be using this modulation oscillator, as I mentioned earlier. And what we're going to do is pitch this up just one octave, so 12 semitones, and then what we're going to do is make sure that this modulation oscillator is modulating oscillator 1 with the ring mod, and just take the ring mod wheel down a little bit. And I'll just quickly, we're going to detune this oscillator as well a bit, and I'll quickly demonstrate the effect that this has. So you can hear it almost sounds a bit like an LFO, kind of like a tremolo, which is kind of what like ring modulation is kind of doing. And it just sounds really cool. It just instantly adds a lot more kind of movement and interest to the sound, which I really like. The next thing we're going to do is select the bright noise waveform for the noise oscillator, and we're just going to set up a separate amplitude envelope for this. So what we're going to do is bring the sustain right down, shorten the decay a little bit and give it quite a lot of release, and we're just going to add this to the amplitude envelope for the noise waveform. The reason for this is basically so that every time that a note hits and this lead is triggered, we're going to hear the noise at the beginning of the sound, and that's a really clever way and really good way to make sounds kind of cut through the mix. So I'll just quickly demonstrate this. I'll have to turn up filter 2. Here we go. So you can hear that. Then I mean, it's not that obvious now because we are going to be filtering the main bit of the sound out in just a second. But you can hear it adds a lot of attack to the sound. The next thing we're going to do is set up a low pass 4-pole filter here and bring the resonance down, and we are going to be routing oscillator 1 straight through this filter, and now you'll be able to hear the noise much more obvious. So you can hear the noise there, much more obvious. And then what we're going to do is bring the sustain down on envelope 3 and bring the decay down a little bit and give it a little bit of release. And this is going to be the filter envelope for filter 1, which is the main part of the sound is being routed through. And you'll hear the effect that this has now. So that's just a really great way to add some extra movement to lead sounds. I usually use, most people usually use envelopes on filters for like all kinds of sounds, whether it's pads, bass sounds, lead sounds, just to get like a little bit of movement, and that really does the job there. Excuse me. The next thing we're going to do is dive into the effects section, and we're just going to set up a really simple reverb. We're going to increase the color a bit just to kind of emphasize a lot of the high end in the reverb, and then we're going to bring the dry wet down a little bit. The next thing we're going to do, which I kind of forgot to do at the beginning of the sound, is just bring the glide time down a little bit. We don't really want this sound to glide, we want it to be like really soft. And finally, if we go into the amplitude envelope for the sound as a whole, just to make it a little bit more pluck-like, we're going to bring the sustain down a little bit, and we're also going to give it a little bit more release because the sound is ending a little bit too soon. And there we go, that's pretty much our finished ring mod lead. Hopefully you got some use out of this tutorial. Definitely try out different things. You can kind of take this as kind of a template, mess around with some different wavetables, some different filter settings, maybe use an external reverb instead of Massive's own. And also, yeah, just try play around with the ring mod a little bit more. It's just definitely something that a lot of people don't really make use of that much, and it, like I said near the beginning when we were first implementing it, it's almost like using like an LFO but to kind of automate a volume, which is essentially all a tremolo really is, which a ring mod is kind of based off of. But yeah, it's just really great way to add some interesting movement to your sounds. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, hopefully you got some use out of this video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. That's like one of the best ways to kind of show your support for these videos. And also comment down below if you've got any questions about this sound or anything else. Yeah, leave a like, and yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything guys. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.